Hello everyone. Can you all just quickly type yes there? I think I'm just waiting for a couple of more minutes before we have others turn up, and then we'll get started with the CLAT 2023 exam analysis that just concluded a couple of hours back. You can now ask me questions about how your exam was, what did you feel? Yes. So those who are here, can you please quickly type how your exam was, right? Was it tough? Was it easy? How many did you attempt? Can you please quickly keep typing, while I'm waiting for a few others to join? Hi, PV. So what were your attempts? How many did you attempt today? How's the paper? I'm just waiting for a couple of more minutes before we get started. I think many ALPNs might have still traveling. Yeah, Raja, okay. It was tough for you. Raja, it is very similar for everyone, don't worry. And I think I have some good news for you by the end of this analysis. I'm sure you're all waiting for cutoffs, etc. I'm going to give you ALP predicted cutoffs by NLUs also. So hang on there. I think this session is going to be a very interesting one. So I look forward to, let's just wait for a few minutes before our friends turn up. A lot of you have concluded the exam a couple of hours back, and I'm sure some of you are traveling, some of you are still in of the exam, etc. Yeah. Hi, Haripriya. So just can you all quickly keep typing what were the number of attempts you made while I'm about to start the session. Can you all type the number of attempts you actually made? Yes, Raja, Haripriya, PV. Okay, Haripriya says it was moderate. Yes, yes, okay. Oral exam, we'll call it moderate only. Some sections which were tough or difficult as I call it, and some sections were easy, but overall I would say it's a moderate paper. So you have any questions for me while we are about to get started? Please keep typing. Yeah. 80, Raja has attempted 80. I've attempted, Haripriya has attempted 92. 92, okay. 92 is a good attempt. But having said that, yeah, I would say, I think, I mean, we could attempt a little more too. But yeah, let's discuss that. At the end of the day, if you have attempted 80 plus, 90 plus, and expecting a great accuracy, good. But yeah, short of time. Anand says short of time, isn't it, Anand? That's exactly what we feel all the time. Even while I was doing this, I think we all feel short of time all through our lives. But that's pretty common, Anand, and particularly on a D-Day like this. I can understand it happens for you. Don't worry. Rita attempted 107. That's very good attempts. If your accuracy is 80% plus, I think you are safe. Okay, PV says 406. Good, good, good. I'm actually going to talk about various things today. Okay, 94 Suhas. Okay, okay, nice. Yeah, 105 plus would be a good set of attempts. 105, 110 would be a good attempts. 90 plus, dicey. If you have great accuracy, good. But if you have a like low accuracy, it can be dangerous. But yeah, if you have great accuracy and you're expecting most of them to be correct, I think 90 plus would be, you have a chance. But yeah, 105, 110 is a safe attempt with reasonable accuracy. Okay, we'll just wait for a couple of minutes. Praneeth, 119 attempts, wonderful. Max Roy, 115 attempts, wonderful, wonderful attempts. If you have 80% plus accuracy, I think you guys are going to do well. Typically, we always say, you should always target 80% accuracy or more, not less than that. Right? What is the use of attempting but not having more than 80% correct? Pradeep, Maxwell, you have great attempts, 119, 115 are wonderful attempts. If you have 80% accuracy, I think you're there. You're going to go to top tier NLUs. Yeah. So we're going to discuss more of that. I think I'll not waste loads of time. I'm going to start bang on in 7:30. I think 3-4 minutes. Meanwhile, can you quickly type whatever your uh, first impressions of CLAT 2023 were, and whatever questions you have on your mind that you want to be answered after the exam. Can you quickly type so that it can help me? speak for you. Which section did you find the easiest? Can you all, those who are here in the session already, which section did you find the easiest today? Which section according to you was the easiest? Can you please tell me which section was the easiest according to you? Okay, Anand says legal. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, legal actually had very uh, short passages, but questions were linear. But yeah, it was English and legal, absolutely. Suhas English definitely was easy. Legal was easier too, easier than last couple of years. Yeah, logical. Max choice is logical. That's interesting. Logical also is definitely better than earlier years. Okay. So obviously, which section did you find the toughest? Which section did you find the most difficult in 23? CLAT 23? I just have couple of minutes. Yeah, logical, legal, English were really easy, equally easy. Okay, 26. Okay, right, you're right, Pandit. Yeah, we probably will discuss. Most of the students, most of the ALPNs and CLAT takers have found similar. Found it similarly. They have similar views of the paper, first impression of the paper. Yeah, Harita says lengthy. Okay. Yeah, your paper was 47 pages, right? How long was the paper? 47 pages. It was obviously lengthy, right? Yes. Haripriya is talking about toughest section, probably difficult section, current affairs. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Current affairs. GK. Pradit, you're right. Max choice is legal stuff. No, legal. I thought many of my friends said easy. I would definitely not call legal the toughest section of this exam. Okay. GK probably yes. GK probably. None of you find quant the tough one. Quant section the toughest one or the difficult one? No, you did not. Okay, I think we are going to get started now. Right, so what I aspire to do in the next half an hour or so is to actually bring to you the first impression of the CLAT 23 exam and ALP team, faculty teams predicted cutoffs, predicted assessment of today's paper. And we're going to follow it up by detailed section-wise, question-wise explanations, and then obviously errata. If the CLAT key is as expected is released, and we'll discuss errata that you can contest and all that will continue after this session. So today's session, the first session, I mean, this next half an hour is meant to give you a quick cutoff. After that, ALP faculty will take you through explanation of all the questions in detail. I mean, after in another session, this session is meant for the cutoff discussion. So without much delay, let me actually move on. So let's kind of understand this, right? So let's first look at yeah, this is just pretty normal. We all deserve. I mean, today it happened 2 to 4. The exam happened 2 to 4, 150 questions, 120 minutes. I think this is not very important, but I think what is very important is this one. Usually, I always love, like a finance minister kind of making the maiden the speech, and the first page is very important, right? I actually believe this is an exam where there are no big surprises. CLAT changed its pattern in 2020. It moved into passage mode from MCQ mode. And after that, I think every year, I mean, we have seen sometimes there are surprises with respect to kind of questions, etc. But I think from last 3 4 years, surprises have come down. So no big surprise according to me, according to ALP. At the same time, students definitely found the paper lengthier. Like some of you already mentioned, it is definitely a lengthier paper than the last average of the last 3 years. I mean, we knew current affairs had only 5 passages with 7 questions each, as compared to earlier years, there are more passages. LR had 5 passages, 6 questions. All other passages had very clearly only 5 questions, right? And like we discussed earlier, some of you already mentioned, legal reasoning were mostly having passages which are in the current news, etc. So it made for easier readability. English and LR had short passages. with better readability. I mean, like I said, comparatively, please understand whenever I'm talking about this is comparative to the past few years, right? It's not an absolute thing to say easier. You may say, how can you say it easier, sir? It was difficult for me. I do not mean for a particular student, for a particular set of people, but I mean an average overall as compared to last few years. I think legal, English, and LR definitely made for easier reading. There are definitely lengthier questions, and in fact, one good thing, ALP faculty felt were this time the questions might have been lengthier, but options were not as tricky as they were in the last version of CLAT. Okay, but two sections that definitely threw surprises for ALPians and I'm sure CLAT takers in general are current affairs and quantitative techniques. Current affairs had difficult topics. In general, current affairs is a section that students do not come out of the exam hall very happily ever because you expect to score very high. But what happens is because they can ask anything, usually they end up throw you off balance. Current affairs usually kind of gives you questions which are unexpected, but this time there are at least two passages that topics themselves were a little unexpected. So I would say a difficult section definitely, and quantitative techniques like sample sections, sample pages, sample papers were given. I think that would have made it a little easier had the sample papers were not released and the section suddenly came. I'm sure most of the flat takers would have found it a little more difficult to digest. There's a heart burn now, there's not heartache. But yeah, definitely as compared to the last few years, I think the type of quantitative technique sets have changed. Earlier, they were very much on percentages, ratios, etc. This time it has changed. There's too much of data sets, reading, comparisons, calculations, there are lengthy calculations. And this is the first cut view of the CLAT paper. Let me now, what I'll do now is I'll go through each section, quickly put together passage wise details out there. Okay. Now, like I said, this section, English as a section, we call it overall easy section. The six passages, as you see on the slide there, was on internet, mythology, fiction, it was the topic of fiction, English and phobia, water mafia. A lot of these things were easier to read, readability wise. ALP faculty, we believe it is easier, readability is easier. Various domains, eclectic domains, and 18 questions were easy, 11 were medium, and one was difficult. So in all, you can see most of the questions were easy to medium. That means attempts could have been very, very high. So we would actually say this is a section where a good attempt would be 25 plus. Good attempts would be 25 plus. 25 plus attempts would have been ideal attempts in this section. Okay, and even who has attempted 25 plus in English should be happy. Again, like I said, we are speaking about attempts here. That score is not the one we're talking about. Yeah. Let's look at the second section. The second section that we're talking about is current affairs and GK. 5 clear passages and agriculture. See, agriculture, you can say still it was expected. FIFA was very much easy passage because you can definitely expect in the year when the FIFA World Cup is happening is expected. President of India straight because Draupadi Murmu got elected, the first tribal woman. It was expected. But look at the other two passages, right? The computing and the cryptocurrency were a little unexpected, tedious topics. And hence, I would actually say this is a difficult section, not only with difficult questions, but actually difficult areas, difficult topics that would have thrown many of you off the rails, right? So overall, out of the 35 questions that have come, we have rated, ALP has rated around 16 questions easy, 7 is difficult, and 12 is medium. So overall, we call it a difficult section. Good attempts would have still been 25. Please remember, unlike other sections, current affairs, the expected accuracy is not as high as other areas, as you know, right? So this is one thing that you ought to know. The next thing that you must know, like in the third section, legal reasoning section, we had these 7 passages, and quite a few of them are medium. None of them we call it readability wise, familiarity wise, they're not very difficult. Couple of them easy. Most of them are, all of them are current news only. Electoral bonds, uh, consumer, free legal aid, NALSAR, internet shutdowns, Twitter accounts, a lot of these things, high court judgments, etc., surrogacy, a lot of these things were easy. Easy as areas. I'm not talking about questions. Questions were definitely lengthier. Having said that, options are not as tricky as they were earlier years. That's one reason why we rate this section as medium in spite of being lengthier questions. Right. Overall, there are 21 easy questions and 16 medium questions. That means this is one section where the attempts could have definitely been high, and we will call at least a 30 plus. A 30 plus should have been a good attempt in this. Anyone who has not attempted a 30 plus, you have not definitely made very good use of legal section. At least a 30 plus attempts would mean you have done the right thing, right? That's legal for you. Then let's go ahead. Let's talk about logical reasoning as a section. Logical reasoning as a section, like I said, again, we call it easy to medium. I mean, only reason we call it easy to medium is compared to the last couple of years, options seem to be a lot more straightforward. While the yes, there are questions could be questions passages or readability was easier. None of them were very tricky readability, and domains were known. Human behavior, new energy. In fact, some of the topics were actually like last year also it was discussed, right? It was not a new one, right? New energy, etc. So in these things, RBI, all these are known, right? In that context, it's a readability overall easy to medium section, and there are out of the 30 questions, there are 17 easy questions, 9 were medium, only 4 difficult. Overall, you would say 25 attempts could have been made. If anyone who has made around 25 attempts, we can say 25 attempts is a very good attempts for this section. That's one thing that I want you to note. Now let me go to the last section of the day, which is quantity techniques. 3 sets as always. The most important thing is while the topic still looks percentages, profit loss, averages, it was not really the kind of questions, but the area, the topics, the passages, the data sets. The data sets were very clumsy. The data was to be acquired. Lengthier calculations, I would say. Most important thing is lengthier calculations made this section not so an easy section. It's like extremely calculation intensive. The second set was out of the 3 sets, only one set was doable, easily doable. First section and the third section, first set and the third set were definitely lengthy and intense calculations. In the second set, I mean, there are a couple of answers where you should say cannot be determined. I mean, your quant faculty will take you through it more detailed when we start doing detailed explanation of the papers. But more importantly, this is a difficult section as per ALP, and I think a good attempt would have been any attempts over 9 plus attempts would be good in this particular section, right? This is how we have kind of taken you all through each section. But now let me actually spend time. I'm sure you're all waiting for what could be the overall good attempts, what could be overall good score, what could be the cutoffs for various NLUs, etc., etc., etc. So I'm going to devote the next 10-15 minutes to that. So please look into this, and I'm sure you have questions. Please, you can keep typing also. So let's look at this. Right, what do we have now? Overall, what is the prediction that we have? ALP prediction is out of the 150 questions today, based on the difficulty level. When we mean difficulty level, we mean by any surprises, any unknown topics, unexpected topics, plus lengthiness of the thing, readability, tough calculations, tough data, all these kind of stuff. Right? Overall current affairs and quantitative techniques sections, we are calling them difficult sections, and English as easier section, legal and logical as moderate to moderate sections. Right? 114 attempts. Anyone who has made 114 or more attempts with reasonable accuracy. When I say 114, I'm talking about 80% accuracy. If someone has 80% accuracy or above and 114 plus attempts, I think you have done very well for yourself. You can pat yourself on the back, and that would earn you top 6 NLUs, the top tier NLUs. And those who've attempted 190, remember you have a chance if your attempt accuracy is very high, fairly high, 95, 90, 95%. I mean, with a lower accuracy, it's not going to work, right? That's one thing. Now, having said this, let me now take you through the main section of the day. Now, this is something that people are more interested every year, more than the actual sectional description, etc. Now, what we found, I want to kind of share a very interesting scenario with you. 2020 is when the new pattern CLAT emerged, that is 150 questions, passages, etc. If you see, except for the first year, last 2 years, we see 2020, 21, 22, actual marks were given as opposed to the rank. We have put together a tabular matrix from rank 1 to rank 5000. What kind of scores have earned rank 1, what kind of scores have earned up to rank 5000, ranges we have put together. That's a very important slide for you. Now here if you see, last couple of years, 21, 22, the papers were very similar in the overall level of difficulty. While there were changes in sectional level, but overall level of difficulty was so close that there is not too much change in the overall marks for the ranks. Yeah. So in that context, I would say the top scores and the overall rank and marks wise, this exam, I would say I will rate it overall couple of marks lower than the last couple of years. In that context, if you see, as compared last year, I mean 125, someone all India topper would still score 125. So I think top 10, 110 plus would be top 10 and so on. I think 5,000 rank, all India 5,000 rank would be 60 plus. Now Pranavi is interested in cutoffs. I'm first giving rank and marks matrix Pranavi. Now let me actually take you through the slide that you're all waiting for. So I'm going to give you the first cut. Again, I'm telling you the first cut. Sometimes some of you, we usually want to err a little on the higher side. We try to be as close as possible, but we'll always try to err a little on the higher side than the lower side, because we don't want to kind of give you wrong. But anyone, now let's look at this. Right, it's very important. What we have done for you is we have kind of put together mark cutoff possible for all the 24 NLUs in a range, right? Please note that. If some, I'm again talking about general category, all India. Anyone who has have a domicile, other categories, etc., you will kind of get to know. You can always reach out to us. We'll probably give you cutoffs, etc., in more detail, etc. Through more, we have rank predictor. Please put in your details. You'll always get to know based on your rank and domicile, etc. You can get to know more. But today, as the first cut, we want to give you marks that you need to achieve or marks that you can, if you achieve them, which NLS you can probably get, right? So if you see anyone who's scoring 104 or above can expect to get into NLSU Bangalore as per ALP. That means they will be in the top 70, 80, top 60 ranks, right? Top 60 ranks in the country. And NALSAR Hyderabad, anyone who's scoring a 98, more than 98, that is, will be in the top 180 and they can go to NALSAR Hyderabad. Again, I'm talking about the All India quota. For domicile, the same thing would be around 89, 90. Anyone who scored 90 plus with the Telangana domicile can expect to kind of crack an NALSAR seat, right? NEJS Kolkata, I think 95 plus. Bhopal, Jodhpur, Gandhinagar, 90 plus, and Mumbai 88 plus. So in a way, top tier NLUs, anyone who's scoring 88 and above, right? 80 more than 88, I think you can expect to go to top tier NLUs. That's what we correspond with our cutoffs, etc. Right? Then we have Raipur, Lucknow. I think you should score 85 plus. Patiala, you have 80, 83 plus. Then we have. Let me also take you through the second bottom half of the NLU table. 78 plus would mean Patna, 76 would mean Nagpur, Vizag, Ranchi, Trichy, and NLJ Guwahati. You can get 74, and 70 if you score, you are going to get Jabalpur, Shimla, Aurangabad. I think 68 plus this year can get you the new NLUs. So this is a first cutoffs that we have. That means overall, anyone who is scoring above 68 will be able to get into the first merit list of these 24 NLUs. Again, listen to me carefully. We are not trying to say this could be the last mark. This would be the definite expected merit list cutoffs. I mean, round 1, round 2, round 3, etc. I mean, vacant seats, we can also obviously guess. Vacant seats can definitely go much lower for at least the bottom NLUs. But for the top NLUs, I think this is what you can say by the end of second, third round also, this could be the cutoffs. So overall, what we say is anyone with around 110 attempts, 80% accuracy, you're going into the top 6 NLUs. Anyone attempting 100 plus with 80% accuracy, I think you are going into top 10, top 12 NLUs, and at least 90 plus. If you have 90 plus and you have a 80 plus % accuracy, you can get into the NLU. You're going to crack a 70 plus score and you are there into the NLU system. This is what we predict at this point of time. I know one other thing that I want to kind of bring to the notice of all of you is one big mistake or one big thing that all of you have anytime is immediately after the exam, you are usually overwhelmed with emotion. Either the paper is too easy or the paper is too tough. It becomes extremely difficult for a student to kind of look at the paper in a equimanous manner. You don't have that reasonable ability to kind of look at that logically. Even faculty, we also have difficulty because we are emotionally tied with you. We look into it. But having said that, like the way we always employ method, that's why we take a couple of hours. We don't rush into saying things. See, I could have done this say at 5:30, but we take an hour or two. So we kind of cross verify with each other. We talk to each other, debate, etc., and come back on this. This is a very important thing. So in that context, we believe this year, this is something that I want you to note very carefully. That even in the last 3 years, 21, 22, and now the 23, if you see, the papers edged slightly, on one section tougher, one section easier, but overall we call them moderate papers. And 23 paper is also a moderate paper and very similar to 22, 21, only in the sense that because a couple of sections were little lengthier, trickier, difficult to solve, I would say I would err a little on the lower side, couple of marks on the lower side. But otherwise, I would say it is very much similar to 21, 22. So this is what I have for you at this point of time. This is what I spent the last 20 minutes explaining to you on the basic cutoffs, etc. I'll be happy to take any questions you have. Any questions you have, I'll be happy to answer. Pranavi, how about cutoff? I hope you got it understanding of the cutoff now, Pranavi. Like I said, the cutoff is expected to be anyone trying. Can I get any NLU? If you attempted anything around 90 with a reasonable accuracy, you are going to crack CLAT. If you attempt 100 plus with a good accuracy, you're going to crack top half of the NLUs. And if you attempted around 105, 110, 110 around 110 plus, I think you're going to get to the top tier NLUs. Anyone looking for the top three NLUs, I think 150 plus is what attempts. So this is what I would say. Questions, if you have any. And like I said, you just had a very big exam. Take, take some time, breathe a little easy, catch up some movies, catch up with your hobbies. Have a chat with any of your friends, cousins, buddies. Have fun. Relax for some time. Then you can get back to. I think. Obviously, there's a errata and other stuff that you need to do. But after that, I think once you do this, you can start going into things like what next, right? What next? Based on how you're doing, we will build. We have a lot of ALP has a lot of plans for you. I think there's some mocks that you have to be taking for other entrance exams, and we also kind of take you. We'll try to, because this time CLAT has given you an advantage in the sense that the exam has happened in December only. You can decide. Based on NLU and cutoffs, etc. If you want to write other exams, if you want to decide on which school to apply to, which school not to apply to, and accordingly make your plans. Right. So the great chance. So take this opportunity. You have worked hard, and your batch had a surprise December exam. Even that is going to play a role. All these things together, I think the cutoffs will definitely be tad bit lower than the last couple of years. Again, I'm saying I'm erring on the higher side, and I hope to see if the cutoffs go a little lesser than what I said. It's good for you, but I expect cutoffs should be definitely lower than last couple of years, a little less than. Yeah. Yeah, Max, why the key actually is expected to be released today only, because they've announced the notification was the key will be released today only. Let's wait and see. If that comes, it's good for you, because we usually, what we want to do is, we are ALP faculty are all they're trying to get you video solutions, detailed question by question solutions. While we do that, if the official key is out there, we can also tell you which key to which question to contest errata. We are working on that. If the paper is, if the key is out or not, we're going to have a detailed video solutions over this night, and by tomorrow morning, you're going to have that. So you can go through them and identify questions which you need to contest for the errata part. All the 4 sets, we're going to release the key, and we're going to do detailed video solutions. Yeah. So please, you have to contest your errata in the next few days only. You don't have too much time. So please remember, the moment official key comes out, start contesting the errata. I hope I've answered your question, Max Roy. Any other questions, friends? So, as a closing thought, what I want to tell all of you is, thank you all for joining. I think this video should give you, this is a first cut, a quick 20-minute thing for you to kind of get a quick analysis of the paper. We'll get more and more details over the next few days. But more importantly, like I said, take a break, go have fun, watch a couple of movies, catch up with friends, travel a little more, eat some food. Now, this is the time for you to kind of do all that. Go enjoy yourself for now. You earned it with all the hard work you've put in over the last year or last many months. Go ahead, have fun. That's what I would say. And this is where I stop for the day with these cutoffs. And yeah, this is your Naresh sir signing off. Thank you for joining me for this quick session on the CLAT day. Looking forward to give you more and more details to ALP team. Please put your details, put your expected marks, etc. in your rank predictor. You'll get every detail. Be in touch with us. We're going to share more and more details. Your Naresh sir signing off.